35-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Go, go, go. X3, 218, chop it. Ready.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They go play action here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A Raider first down, 17 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll let this go end zone for Green. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Ready up.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And some room to work. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a give right side. It's Moss. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go, D.
Allen going to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Just like that.
On play action, Allen. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
53, Mike.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He wants it all for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the end around with Green. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready, set. 33, check flag 33. I'm coming after you.
Hey, my 7.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Watch 54, watch 54.
We own now.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And he comes back with one complete. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Moss. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Time to go, night, night.
Throwing on second and 14. Allen, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The kick by Bryant is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
On the ready.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, Alpha. Step.
They'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the... And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Nelson Aguilar. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 1st down, Allen. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. Going to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On first down, it's Moss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing is Allen on third. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on.
It got his man complete, and all the way down to the 39. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A.J. Green with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
He probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to have the connection to Foster. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Allen. And his throw here's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Allen on third down. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
A loss of 2. Brings up second and 12 at the 17-yard line.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
44's mine. Check.
On second and 11 now. Allen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked.
And that's caught inside the 30. 33 yards that time. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm coming. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Big ass. Check 26. Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Moss. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Allen. And it's caught. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
They come out here in the I. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Here's Allen to throw it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
44, Mike, 44. Hey, come on, go.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Down to the field goal of 36-yard attempt.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the 1st half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Single receiver. Hey,
2nd and 4. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had that 1st half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Try to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Jacobs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Let's put that team on the back.
He'll look to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your...
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job.
Come on, set.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll set up to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And Oliver make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From midfield, here's Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Moss, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1 yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's now 3rd and 9.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This is taken at about the 14. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Minneapolis. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They give it off here to the tight end. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Foster Moreau, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw, it's Allen. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jonathan Abram able to make the play defensively. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trevor Williams with a pick.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
Let's go.
And they take a knee. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got